Welcome back to CricAdda Live. A lot of calls coming in to our experts for the brilliant predictions we made before the game because New Zealand have restricted England for to under 170, 180. A very chaseable score it seems. 165 is what 166 is what they scored. If we can have a look at the scorecard and Paras, could you tell me what you felt about this whole innings and the approach with which England were batting and the
Yeah,
bowling department and how clinical they were according to you, Paras?
yeah. They looked very good to begin with. England, although they had a dodgy start, but that recovery from Moeen Ali and David Malan is the reason that they've reached 166. Moeen Ali
Absolutely.
showed, he showed the right way on how to deal with this pitch. All those slower bouncers that he was facing, he was leaving on one and then whacking one for six. So the
Right.
strategy from New Zealand's end failed when trying to deal with Moeen Ali with those slow odd bouncers, and it's a respectable total, a very challenging one. Though the pitch seems to be very batting friendly, it's going to be a difficult chase tonight.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now, Bhavik, now moving on to the second innings here. What's your take on the approach that New Zealand batsmen should come out with? Do you think that they need to target the power play really well? Because the slow bowlers in England are not many. You've got a Moeen Ali, but there are not a lot of left-handers in the New Zealand batting lineup. Just a couple, if I can think on top of my head. And Adil Rashid will be a player they need to counter really well. So, you think the fast bowling is where the chunk of runs will be scored, according to you, Bhavik?
Of course, yes, they'll have to make the most of the power play because 166 in a league match is a different total while playing a semi-final game. I mean, it gets very tough, under pressure, and this is a knockout match, mind you. So of course they'll have to apply themselves. They'll have to be clear with their thoughts. They'll have to target the bowlers, and accordingly they'll have to plan this run chase, and they've got the players to do that.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right, Bhavik. They do have the players to do that. And, a certain Kane Williamson will be looking to,
Exactly,
be
key man.
smiling once again, but this time on the winning side because he's the guy who always smiles and has been a very good, sportsman. Now, speaking of some predictions we made in the first innings, Bhavik
Yeah.
Paras, let's have a look at the results.
Wow, congrats,
Okay.
Yash.
Okay, brilliant. So, with David Milan, I was watching the innings, and at one point he was batting on 40 odd runs, and I was like, "Gaya mera prediction." I mean, I was like, for 9, 8 runs, I think
No,
I missed out.
but your last prediction was a brave one where England to score lesser than 8 sixes. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, I am backing Bhavik. I'm completely backing New Zealand here, and I'm sure you two are too. So I'm
of course.
completely on point with you also. That was the particular reason why I chose that. And Trent Bolt not firing, surprising. So now, talking of the second inning prediction for a minute because I think we have to move a bit faster. So,
Correct.
second innings, it's going to be a big chase for them, but the fast bowlers not clicking for New Zealand the way we expected them to, right? So, is
Yeah.
that something that is going to worry the English bowlers as well? Because they don't have the most experienced bowlers. And don't get me wrong, a Mark Wood is a very clean bowler. I mean, clean as in perfect bowler, but he's not played a lot of cricket. Similarly, Chris Wokes, he's good, but he's not the most experienced in T20. And the final guy, the Chris Jordan factor, he's been very unpredictable. So, who's your take on that? What's your take? Do you think that England will struggle when it comes to that?
Is this for me, Yash?
I'm asking just a general question, Paras,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you
I
can start
mean,
first.
Right. Just pointing out England's bowlers, they are very different from one another. And talking about the spinners that they have, are also very different from one another. So it's a very
Right,
volatile bowling attack that England has, and
right.
and also one more point, Yash, to pinpoint is the variety of slower ones that the English pacers have.
Oh,
The back of
yes.
the hand slower ones, the off cutters, the leg cutters. All of this is a proper recipe for any fast bowling attack taking on any team on a tricky pitch such as this, which is two paced. So
correct.
it's going to be difficult for New Zealand to chase, but not impossible. Over to you, Bhavik.
Indeed, yes, I really agree with the fact that how the pitch has played its part with the bowling. A couple of it's two paced surface. So yes, again this makes it even more difficult for these guys to coming and freely score runs. I mean,
Yeah.
scoring runs is one thing, freely scoring runs is altogether a different thing. So, yes, the batsman coming in might have to take some time. And yes,
Hmm.
again, the use of power play would be the vital cog in this
Yeah.
franchise.
Well said, Bhavik Paras. And now moving on to the second innings and our predictions for the second innings. You can have a look at them. I would go first once again. And my first prediction in the batting part would be Convoy to score more than 30 because
Yeah.
I feel that
Found his
it's such a
form.
yeah, he has to find his form, and today is a day
Yes,
where he has to click. Bhavik Paras, if he doesn't click, the team's gone down. So I
But
think
he's been
he's going
playing
to be
well.
a very yeah, and he's a very pivotal part of this whole team which holds him together.
correct.
Kane Williamson would be a very basic prediction, so I didn't go for him scoring more than 30. But yes, Convoy, my prediction would be him.
Hmm.
In the bowling, I think Chris Jordan is a man to watch out for because out of the three bowlers, he is the T20 specialist. If I may think that way, because he bowls the
True.
Yorkers in the end.
True.
He's a person who's always been in the thick of things in the middle overs as well. So that's my second prediction, and my third and final prediction for the team would be sixes scored. Sorry, four scored in the innings would be over 10 because I think that going for a chase, they will be scoring a lot of boundaries, and I think they would probably get 12 or 13 odd boundaries, and that'll be over 10. So that's my prediction. Over
Back
to
to
you, Paras.
basics. Yes.
Good one, Yash. Good call. Okay. For the first one for me with the bat is the top batter for New Zealand has to be Kane Williamson, the anchor man.
Absolutely.
If they get him out cheaply, it is we might have a new hero altogether if New Zealand win. Coming to the second prediction is the mode of dismissal. I'll think LPW. I purely have Martin Guptill in mind for this dismissal, the way he jots his bat in front of the other and tries to hike the ball towards mid wicket. So yeah, and the third prediction is New Zealand to lose more than 2 wickets in the power play. I'll say no. They have a very solid top four. So if that is to happen, the match is gonna get very unevenly poised if this happens, but
Right.
I hope it does not. So over to you, Bhavik. We'll have a look at your predictions.
Correct. Good predictions there. So yes, my first prediction is Daryl Mitchell to not score a 50. He has, showed his form, but I don't think so. Against a disciplined England bowling attack, he'll score a 50. So this is my first prediction. My second prediction here is Adil Rashid to take 2 wickets. I'm sure
Yeah,
he'll play a pivotal role against the right-handers, as Yash mentioned earlier. So yes, I'm backing
Right.
him to. I really feel he might even take more than 2 wickets here. So yes, that's a yes for me. My final prediction here is New Zealand's power play score would range around 41 to 60. A cautious start, yes, but at the same time, just as we mentioned, even they'll have this thing in their heads that power play would definitely play a vital role here.
yeah, true.
Brilliant, brilliant predictions here. And like you said, Adil Rashid is a player to watch out for. He has had his fair share of success against the overseas teams, if I may say, more than the
Correct.
Indias and the Pakistans. He's been much more successful against the
Against
Sena countries.
Sena
So yeah, so
countries.
that's a big thing to have. And Adil Rashid will be a player to watch out for. But the due is also in consideration. Guys, now finally, I just want to ask you all: do you all stick to your predictions? Starting with Bhavik, do you stick to your prediction of New Zealand, or do you have some kind of a dilemma whether it could be England as well?
Uh, exactly, the second part of your statement. I mean, 166 in a semi-final is very tricky. Though I'm backing New Zealand to win this one, but let's see. I mean, anything is possible with this total now.
ये डर गया भाविक तो
Paras,
यश such a
कुछ नया कुछ
50-50
नया
answer
बताओ
है.
यार, कुछ नया
Even though
बताओ.
they have scored, I think नहीं लेकिन हाँ. No, I'll pick New Zealand. They are masters of chasing these scores down, and I think they'll be done with this score by the 18th-19th over.
Brilliant, Bhavik and Paras. Paras, your prediction has been so blunt and upfront. I feel that
Exactly.
New Zealand can chase it down. They've got the Nishams, Santners in lower down the order. I really feel that it is time that New Zealand come to a finals. And Kane Williamson is a guy who
Legend.
has really been, yeah, he's been a legend. And hopefully they win this time around. And live action coming up, guys. Before we go, we are on social media one final time. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So please follow us and play the Sports Adda Fantasy to win exciting prizes. So thank you, Bhavik. Paras, I'll see you in the
Cheers,
post-match
Yash.
show. Hopefully, a New Zealand win is on the cards. Live action coming up. Thank you. This was CricAdda Live.
Thank you.